Good afternoon or good evening, however this video finds you. Again, this is Chris Masker here, out with our Freightliner here, the 2019. We're going to be transporting this 53-foot flatbed. This is a step deck flatbed to Oklahoma, Davis, Oklahoma. We're going to try to put some loads on it. It's what is the 6th or the 7th today, December. We're getting ready to pre-trip this truck and trailer. We just connected it over to this trailer. This trailer is coming from TNT Trailers, which is not far away from here. We're going to be transporting this trailer to Oklahoma and dropping it off and picking up some more trailers for them to bring back to Troutville. In the meantime, we got permission to use what's left of the trailer. By the way, we're delivering this dolly, and this is a dolly that's a tandem dolly that's going to be delivered into I believe in South Dakota, and so it's loaded up on the nose of the trailer. This is a 53-foot bed. Again, it's a step deck, and so allows for about 42 feet down below and about 11 feet up at the top. But the 11 feet is already occupied, as you can see. We're going to try to consume the 42 feet or 40 feet available space of this deck. This is a trailer that's designed with 3 axles on the rear. These are pneumatic air ride tires or axles. So these are going to hold up quite a bit of weight. This is a particular trailer that allows for container connections too. So these are the container hookups. So you drop a container directly onto it, and then you lock it in place with those cradle hands right there. Of course, it's got a bunch of, you know, ratchet straps or connectors there. And then of course on this side the 3 axles. Now this is an older trailer, but it's super reinforced. Look at that frame. That frame is huge. So you can load this thing 42,000 pounds of 44,000 pounds of weight and get your way across the world, as long as the tires hold out, as long as the axles and the drive lines hold out and the hubs hold out. This trailer should run at least another couple, maybe 100,000, 200,000, maybe 400,000 miles without major mechanical work. It's being delivered, like I said, to Oklahoma. Dollies are going in South Dakota. Whatever we're putting on top of it is going to go in that same vicinity. We've finished pre-tripping this truck and trailer. Lights are operational, markers are working, 4-ways are working, the rear is working, the tires are pressured. They have good amount of pressure. We've got chains with us here for the truck, and then we got a bag of chains for the trailer as well, to make sure that we've got for the weather up that direction. Now it's again December, and snow and ice is everywhere these days. These 2 dollies or this 1 dolly with the tandem they're already pre-loaded and strapped up here on the. I'm going to zip tie these straps because I hate to lose them on the way or to have a flap. There's some chains that the shipper has provided that go along with this trailer. We're going to be returning these chains back to them. You know, we're going to fix up some of these things here, like this chock block back here. It's a little loose. It needs a little bit support, but all the straps are tight. We're going to see if we can tighten them up a little bit more on the way. Otherwise, this trailer is ready to go for whatever load I'm going to be putting on. It's Chris again. I'm here with this flatbed, this step deck. We're here at a facility that has a bunch of these crates and machinery. It's going to go to Colorado, and we're going to be picking it up this morning on a cold, cold, frosty morning with a little bit of fog in the far distance. Anyway, we're going to be backing in this unit into this little tiny spot here and back it in towards this dock plate, and they're going to load us up. So as you've seen there, we have to back into a tight dock plate here. This is the spacing that we had to make the turn into, and we have about a half a foot of distance on this side. That's 45, 50 feet. And then here's the positioning in the trailer, and then the positioning of the dock plate. You have to line it up perfectly so you can get on there with his equipment. Generally, this is a 3-point turn or 2-point turn, a couple points turn, meaning that you've got to do a pull up or twice. This is the loading dock. Sorry, man.
No, it's all right.
Sometimes you got to do it twice, like I say. And so the loading dock comes up and just kind of has a loop, but somebody usually needs to sit on top because the weight of the loading dock. You got to put on some weight, brother.
I lost 20 pounds.
Well, that's good for you. Good for you.
It is, but yeah, I couldn't help this at all.
I totally understand that. So that's how it goes. Loading dock is on. The trailers are ready to go. And now he's going to load the stuff on. So now that we got this guy on here, this is kind of what it looks like for the spreader, the hay spreader. And it's about a foot away from the backing of the flatbed and a little bit off the tongue to top, about an inch, maybe half an inch, or about 6 inches, 7 inches away from that. And now we're going to be blocking it on the lower section and of course strapping it and strapping the box up at the top. We're going to get the rest of the load onto the board itself. That is the flatbed, and we'll see if we can pick up another load to get onto this flatbed on the way to our destination. We're strapping things down and using these 5,500 pound straps to strap the load. Now we're going to put them through the ratchets and tighten them down so that way they're secure, and they will hold the load. And generally you don't want to have a strap like this bent. You want to have it flat, and so that way it does not flap in the wind. So because of that, I have to pull the whole strap out and realign it so it's straight and perfectly positioned, and that means that the load is secured properly. And so that process may take a little more time, which, you know, in most cases it does, but being safe on the road is more important than hurrying up. So here we go. This is our proper strapping for one strap, and it goes around on the other side of this particular load and wrapped. And so what we do here, we're gonna have, of course, 2 straps per load. These are 5,500 pounds, so we wrap this guy around and we looped it around, and so it goes above and beyond. We're gonna do the same thing with the other strap, and then we're gonna tighten those straps to the point of pressure, and then they should be stable. Right now, all I'm doing is positioning them inside, and then coming back to them and restrapping them. So this is the second one for the same load, and we're going to do the same thing. And as you can see, I'm using my left hand only. There's a purpose behind that. But anyway, so this is it right here. Now we're going to go on the other side. But before I go on the other side, I'd like to continue. Well, no, let's go on the other side and secure this particular piece, this load. Always wear gloves, by the way, unless they get in the way. In this case, guys, we got the bill of lading. Load is secure, ready to go. We're heading over to Colorado now with these products, and yeah, we'll see if we can make it there in an early fashion without hitting too much snow or too much of the weather. These are the straps that we have strapped, 5,500 pound straps. We've also bungeed them and zip tied them. Of course, this is the other opposite side of the strap. Now we've strapped this machine quite extensively, just in case. We've got the 3,300 pound straps on the tongue itself, as you see up there, and then we got the 5,500 pound on the frame itself in the triple loop, and then we've got the tires up there strapped, and then we got the additional frame here strapped 2-way, and then there's a box up on top that's also strapped. Things like these here are bungeed or zip tied, making sure that nothing is loose and can fall off the unit itself. This is a brand new unit being delivered to the customer. And a couple things, these straps are going to hold the unit this direction, and these straps are holding this unit that direction. So not only it's not going to shift forward, but it's not going to shift backwards either. In addition, we got these little chalk blocks that we're going to secure. These, they're secured in the back here with this large strap, but we're going to try to secure these little chalk blocks by bungee as well, so that way they stay put, so the wheels do not roll. But it's not necessary. Everything else is good to go. We'll be on the road here in a couple things you do while you're en route. If you can stop somewhere safely, usually a rest area, is do a safety check. So I just, you know, again, just want to let you know, you check your straps, make sure they're all tight. There's not any straps loose. In this case, I ended up checking the straps a few times and adding a couple of basically zip lines and some bungee cords, and I'll show you what I mean. My load, we have these wooden chalk blocks that were placed here by the shipper of this dolly. Well, they shift in transit, so I ended up putting a bungee, or actually a bungee cord around it and looping it to the one in the front, so that way it stays put. You know, we normally strap these down, but it's not necessarily needed to be strapped down as long as they're tight against the tires to hold pressure against the wheels rolling. Obviously, we got the straps, we got the large 4x4 here that's actually holding the tires from shifting, but also these wheels are locked in place because they have spring releases on there for air. So the when the air is decreased from inside the dolly, this is a semi-dolly, the springs for the brakes are locking the brakes in place. So they're not going to go anywhere for sure, but just in case, these 2x4s, these, you know, you want to make sure that they don't fall off in vibration in route. You know, you don't want to lose them. I also did something else here, as you probably seen, these little chalk blocks. I wrapped a bungee around that as well to hold those tight, so that way the unit itself stays perfectly positioned and it doesn't go anywhere. I did the same thing on the other side of these casters, and obviously these front ones are locked in place by the straps, the large 5,500 pound straps. But otherwise, you know, you check your straps, make sure they're all in place, make sure nothing's loose, and you keep going on the route. With the same transport in Ontario, a few, maybe a little bit away from Boise, Idaho. We're getting DEF fuel and filling up the tank again, a $600 cost for 100 gallons of tank, supposedly, because we're going to be hitting snow here pretty soon. It's about 7 in the evening, 8 in the evening. So we're at Pilot's truck stop now. We just again checked and inspected, did a safety check on all the straps and the load. Everything is good. We're going to head back on the road. We're still in Boise, or in Boise. We are in Boise, Idaho. And we just took a short break. Here's the load. We still got about, I don't know, about 20-something feet maybe over here that we can put something on there, but it's not necessary. We got this load ready to go to Colorado, and we're going to be back on the route here. It is one day after the previous day. It's the 14th, and so we're in Boise, Idaho. As you see, snowy Boise, Idaho, completely covered in various places, and moving on towards more snow with this load going to eventually Oklahoma. But we hear a lot of stuff going on in Oklahoma right now with tornadoes and blizzard warnings and all those things. Hopefully we don't have to go through too much of that. Right now we're on the outskirts of Boise, or I guess Idaho, heading that direction. We just made a quick stop, topped off with fuel, got some coffee, got all the things necessary, checked the load. All that is good. We're back on the road.
Good morning. We are in Utah on Highway 40 going eastbound. Last night we were able to pass through the mountains, and now we're on the plateau, kind of more of a, I guess, desert, high desert. Anyway, it's approximately 9 degrees outside right now. With the wind chill, it just dropped to 8. With the wind chill, it's probably about, I don't know, 5, maybe 2 degrees outside. Frozen everywhere. Last night it was very difficult to go over the mountains, not being able to see what we were looking at, what I was looking at. Had a bunch of black ice, snow coming down over the high hills. The road was completely covered. There's a number of treacherous areas that were concerning. Anyway, we ran out of hours. We parked at a safe zone, safe rest area, or actually more of a convenience truck stop, fuel station, and we regained our momentum this morning. We're now heading on Highway 40 east towards our destination. We're about 200 miles away, but this is the current road condition. As you can see here, it is very clear. The road is very passable. There's no precipitation. It is frozen, so there's some spots. As a matter of fact, about 5-6 miles back, there were some icy spots due to, I guess, moisture left behind. But generally, it's pretty clear. We can manage to make, by the way, in Utah, 70 miles an hour. My truck is governed at 72, but it is a frigid morning if you got to get out of the truck with wind chill, probably at 2 degrees, 2 to 3 degrees, I would estimate, considering it's 8 degrees outside right now without the wind chill. So these are the normal conditions in Utah in the wintertime. You know, hopefully there's no precipitation or blizzards coming our way here anytime soon, but generally Utah is pretty much like this all year, you know, all winter long. And so that means that you got to make adjustments, make sure you got enough fuel, make sure you got your chains and your blankets and clothing and equipment that you need in case you do have a need to stop. And in some cases, the cell phone reception is terrible. In other cases, it's not at all available. But generally, there is good reception in various parts where we come into a city. So we are on Highway 40, just to let you know. Unlike Highway 80, this is not very much used. It's mostly used by the locals and transporters or carriers like myself, and that means that the road is not very much improved. There's lots of bumps and, you know, holes in the road, and you know, in some cases plow trucks forget about this road until a few days later. So if we get a snow blizzard warning or some kind of snow precipitation coming down, well, you could expect you know, a little bit of time to be stuck in that. Like I said, Highway 80 is not much further from here. It's well, it is quite a bit. It's one state over, but it travels the same direction. And if I would have taken that, perhaps I would have had less of a struggle to make it over the mountains. And last night's conditions were treacherous, but it still requires that I come down from Highway 80 back onto this road. So even though this road puts me a straight line to my destination for my first drop-off site, this road is indeed a little more treacherous than Highway 80 would have been. So said, we're going to continue en route and get there when we get there. One of the differences between Utah and Colorado is the road improvements. Colorado does not improve their roads or take care of them very well because they have quite a bit of snow, ice, weather all year round. We are in Colorado right now, coming up to Craig, Colorado, and even though the roads are clear, you know, even though we're in Colorado right now, the differences between Utah and Colorado is the road improvements. In Colorado, as you can see here, the road is very much unimproved and remains unimproved. Every single year I travel on this road, I find that my wheels and my tires are bouncing and, you know, being affected. One of the differences between Utah and Colorado is the road improvements. The road improvement here in Colorado, as we are approaching where are we? Craig, Colorado, is very poor. Utah maintains the road a little better than Colorado. Colorado seems to see a little more snow, and so the roads are a little bit less improved. You got quite a bit of you know, cracks and bumps and, you know, roads that need to be worked on. In Colorado, unlike Utah, Utah seems to do a better job in maintaining their roads. However, here we are closer to Craig, Colorado. The road is still very clear. You know, it's passable. There's snow on both sides and intermittent or sporadic patches of ice, various places where the shade has kept the temperature down and the precipitation has accumulated and it's never been cleared. Those sections have black ice, have snow still, but here we are recording on my dash camera or my attached camera. It's pretty clear in Colorado at this moment on Highway 40 and mile marker 17 heading east towards Craig. And you know, we're pretty much in a desert, high desert area here. So when the snow hits, it pretty much is one of those seasons that creates havoc on this whole area. And to get out of this area, you really need a plow in front of you because all the roads would be covered. If there is a blizzard that is pushed down in this area, the only way to get out is by snow plow and chains. But at this moment, this is pretty comfortable still, although the bumpiness is very, very, very much a frustrating factor. You know, we got lots of bumps, kind of like California. Colorado is just, you know, well, California is, it's a whole different ball game. Southern California, Colorado is, it's only affected like this because of the, you know, the unimproved and the road, the weather. California, Los Angeles is mainly because of choice and because of high congestion and traffic. Colorado is affected by the snow and the ice and the storms. So there are good places in Colorado that you can travel safely without, you know, your truck flying up and down or bumping like it is right now. But generally on Highway 40, which is where we're at right now, like I said, heading east towards Craig, this is a pretty unimproved road, and although it's very nice and clean, it could use some improvement. And just like that, we came across one new accident that the camera managed to capture it. The car slid off the road and flipped a couple times. The owner is recovering and supposedly fine, but the car left behind. This is the areas that are patchy with heavy snow or somewhat more snow than normal. You know, black ice underneath it. We're climbing over a small hill, and then we'll have more to come. But these are the areas that are usually found a little bit slick and somewhat dangerous to drive on, because underneath all that white snow powdery substance on top, there is very much black ice and frozen ice, considering the temperature is still in the late 10, 11, 12 degrees outside. However, this is the norm here, so we're going to continue through. No change required just yet. We're going through various paths of Colorado right now, trying to make our way to Craig, Colorado, and yeah, should be full or clean or clear sailing. I think that's what the word is, clear sailing from here on. We finally reached it. Now we got completely covered road, snow coming down, a little bit of a whiteout up ahead. We're downgrading here at maybe 6%. So I'm using my brake to slow myself down. But yeah, it's coming down pretty good here, and it's completely covered. We're still about 45 minutes away from our destination, but the road is slick, so I gotta slow down a little.
All right, guys, so we made it over here at U.S. Tractor and Harvest in Craig, Colorado. And as we come up, we get stuck. Momentum. The snow is too deep here. There's no traction. We come up the hill. The weight of our load. And so we get stuck because momentum stopped. And anyway, now we gotta get pulled, or I have to put the chains on. But the nice thing about it is I'm here. And we're gonna be pulling this about 15 feet forward, 20 feet, and then begin the unloading process. So it's about 15, maybe 10 degrees here. Snow's coming down, and it's nice and chilly. Now that we're in a good position, they're going to unload this. We unstrap the loads in the back. There's the 2 pallets in the back. And we're going to unstrap this guy here shortly, but they're going to take that stuff first off, and then we're going to free up this here as we can. But he's taking the big pallets off one at a time from both angles, and then we're going to do the rest. As you can see here, everything is chained down in the Colorado area. You know, the snow takes a toll on people here. They constantly are covered with snow. So first pallet is down, got the other one, and then this big guy comes off. Obviously the hardest part is these things are frozen, and with the gloves you can't really reach them, so you got to take your gloves off, your hands free. I just want to show you the the frostbite and then the icicles are serious in this area. So, okay guys, so I'm pretty much done here on my side. Everything is unstrapped except the dolly that used to go to Chambly. But they have a makeshift dock here, not necessarily an actual dock, and they're going to try to drag this thing off my bed because it's got casters with their little excavators, the John Deere, so they got to drive onto the bed to make this happen. And then, yeah, it's free and clear. They're moving it. It's got a caster on there, 2 casters, and the box up on top. They're going to back out off the bed slightly, slowly, and gently. So it stays put. Watch the end. Watch the end. Hey, watch that caster. Watch the caster. Watch the wheel. Hey, watch that wheel over there. It's gonna go off. Watch that wheel. Yeah, so it's shifting slightly. I'm trying to tell him, watch the wheel. You might have to readjust it. It's kind of a weird setup here. That wheel's right on the edge. Yeah, good luck.
Up, Crispin! Up!
I think they got it. I think they got it. Hopefully. As long as he keeps us straight.
Crispin!
Anyway, this is what it takes sometimes to get a piece of equipment off a flatbed in snow. Look at that snow back there on the bottom of the bed, on the frame itself. The whole truck is covered. So, looks like they almost got it. They readjusted it. And then I got to put all these straps away and go to my next destination. Here we are. The interesting part on this project is going to be the makeshift dock here, which is literally a makeshift dock. They don't have a plate, so they're going to have to try to adjust it or reshift it.
Go ahead.
Not sure. Got it off. My goodness. Good job, guys. Sometimes that's what you got to do. So that's it, guys. Now I'm ready. The trailer is empty for my next load. Okay, guys. So I am still in Craig, Colorado here, getting fuel. Still hooked up to these, or towing or transporting these dollies that need to go to Chandra, Nebraska. Here's my load. It's an empty trailer now. Holy moly. Look at the mess of the truck. It's full of snow, ice, dirt on the back, as you can see. It splatters out everywhere from the roadside elements that take care of the snow and the ice. Anyway, but this is the area here. It seems like everything is covered in snow after miles and miles driving in them. Looks like my lights are still functioning. I'm not sure if this light is operational. I can't see. This one's on. It doesn't seem to be working very well, but hopefully it does. Anyway, the rear axle on this trailer seems to be malfunctioning. Not sure exactly why. It releases only after a little bit on the road, but it's having a little bit of an issue. both the axles, you know, obviously on both sides. So I noticed I'm dragging them a few times. I would have loved to have a load on board to make it a little more sturdy, but we're sturdy enough up here with the dolly. So now after I fill up with fuel, I'm going to continue on route, and we're going to try to make this delivery tomorrow.
Here we are, Colorado, coming down the mountains on Highway 40. It's about 4 or 5 in the afternoon here. We had some whiteout zones. This is a very steep downgrade if you can't see it. I'll let you know it's about 9% coming up, or 6%, 7%, 9%. And winding road, steep grade, next 2 miles. It's telling me 40 miles an hour, but I'm going 25 with 4-way zone. It's covered in snow, patchy ice everywhere, icy conditions. It is, and what's worse is that I'm empty, and I have a flatbed that's empty and it's light. That doesn't mean that it's actually a good thing, because it, you know, heavier, you've got more stability, more grip on the snow, or even, you know, more grip on the ice. But the lighter you are, well, the less grip you have on this crisp snow and ice. And that's where you take your time and don't worry about the people behind you. Just slow down and just take as much time as you can to be safe on the road and get down there on the bottom of the valley safely.
And just like that, whiteout, blizzard conditions, roads completely covered with snow and black ice, white ice, whatever you want to call it. Everywhere trucks ran off the road. The road was completely frozen. An inch of glass, an inch of snow caused major wrecks and catastrophes everywhere, left and right. Some people were braving it. Others were staying put and staying home. There's snow drifts that caused a lot of the roads to be covered and a lot of congestion. Police were directing traffic left and right. We even got stuck, but we got pulled out, and once we got pulled out, we decided to park it and let for the weather to defrost before we moved back on.